them from taking action. So first and foremost, I want you guys in the chat to be open, be honest, be vulnerable. And I want you to share, what is your biggest fear around recruiting? Your biggest limiting belief, your biggest fear, like what is the thing that holds you back? Because I know you can just start typing them out, and don't be afraid, guys, because a lot of them will be the same. Like a lot of the fears you have are probably what everybody else has. They're going to think I'm not good enough to be a coach, feel like I'm trying to sell to people, I'm not good enough to build new coaches and help new coaches. Okay, taking myself seriously, no one will care what I have to say, not good enough to lead. That's a big one that a lot of people say. That I don't have enough experience yet. These are so good. That people will think I'm just trying to recruit and make money and not be genuine. A lot of these are very similar. Like I said, they would, not far enough in my journey to help them. Okay, so I want you guys to, and maybe after this call, you need to like do a serious deep dive even further, but as long as you have limiting beliefs around recruiting, you're either one, not going to take action, because if you have limiting beliefs around anything, you will self-sabotage or not take action around whatever that thing is. So for instance, if you feel like coaching is salesy and you're selling and you're pushing people, then of course you're going to avoid the action of inviting, because that's going to make you so uncomfortable, right? So you have to get your mindset around selling in the right spot. For instance, I love sales. Sales are badass. They make the world go round. I feel like Carly and I could talk all day about sales, because we both believe so strongly in what we do, and I just don't think there's anything gross or yucky about sales, and I am proud as hell to be a network marketer. But I will say 3 years ago when I started coaching, I was ashamed to be a network marketer. I was ashamed to sell, and I would never have even used the word sale because it made me so uncomfortable. And now I'm like, hell yes, I sell. I have so much admiration for salespeople because I know the work it takes, and I know that it's a good thing because we're helping people. So I really had to work on my mindset around sales. So for instance, if you have this limiting belief that you are not good enough to lead, or you have to know all the answers in order to be a good leader, or you aren't, one of mine for a long time was that I can lead, but I can't develop leaders. So I thought, well, I can bring on coaches and I can mentor them, but I can't create a diamond. Like, how do I help somebody hit diamond? And then I had to do a lot of personal development to realize that that was just bullshit, because if I can hit diamond, all I have to do is like literally tell them what I did, and it's up to them to do the work. But also I created a few diamonds, and I was like, okay, well, obviously I can do that. That was not true. I can develop leaders. I've done it, and I can do it again. So you have to know what those are, and you have to start working on those. And a lot of that is going to be stuff I can't cover on a team call. Like, I can't just speak on a team call and boom, it's like all of a sudden you're like, hell yeah, I'm a leader. Like you have to do personal development that is going to help you with whatever that limiting belief is. And if you're like, I don't even know where to start with PD, post in the team page. And I would always do that when I was working, or I still do. I'll post in like the Diamonds page, or when I was growing my business, I would post in team TFTF Emeralds, which if you're an Emerald coach, that's a special group just for Emerald coaches with tons of resources. But I would post in there and ask, hey guys, I'm really struggling with my fear of failure. That was a really big one for me. What PD do you recommend? And a lot of people would comment the different PD that they recommend. But I do want to say, you don't have to know all the answers, guys, to recruit coaches, because whatever Carly did for you or whatever I did for you, it's literally duplication. Do not reinvent the wheel. I know that's a big mistake Carly and I both made when we started coaching, is we did all the things. Like, we both have a website, which we don't effing use or need. We both try to reinvent the wheel and do things all fancy. And it's like, really what we should have done is copy and pasted Jamie's welcome email and literally duplicated what Jamie did. So whatever Carly did when she brought you on, just duplicate that. Whatever I did, you can literally, like one of my top coaches, Amanda, I asked her how she brings on coaches. She's like, oh, I just copy and paste the email you sent me. I'm like, genius. Literally just take my email, guys, or Carly's email, and use it. So everything is super simple, and you're not having to be like, what do I do when I bring on a new coach? Well, send them a welcome email or whatever Carly did. Put them in a new coach community or coach prep school. I know that Carly and I have different ways of onboarding coaches. I just don't want you guys to think that you have to go out there and rethink your entire process, because it really is super simple. So that's what I want to cover, and do after this call, really think about some other things that might be holding you back from recruiting, because I'm not going to go on more about that. But the next thing I wanted to cover was, how many of you guys, and I guess you don't have to raise your hand for this one, but go into the month with recruiting as an option, because a successful business owner doesn't go into the month with recruiting as an option. Recruiting is a non-fucking negotiable. Sorry for the F-bomb, but it's a non-negotiable. Like there's never a month where Carly and I are like, I hope I recruit a coach this month. I hope I get a business builder. Like, our mindset is, I will work my ass off. I will do whatever it takes, and I will work on recruiting this month. Like, it is a focus of mine. And some months you'll have a lot more, some months you'll have less. I know Carly is a badass at recruiting, so she's going to cover her method, but there's never a month where I'm just like, nah, I'm not going to worry about it. Like, that would be like me saying, I'm not going to worry about Success Club. Like, I don't really care if I help anybody new this month. Recruiting is just as important as Success Club. It is the lifeblood of your business. And I see so many coaches not taking it seriously, or they'll get to Diamond and just like chill and stop recruiting. And if you get to Diamond and you stop doing the things that got you to Diamond, how in the world are you going to keep your Diamond? You're not, and you're never going to get past Diamond, which is the ultimate goal. So you have to go in every single month and really every single week thinking recruiting is a non-negotiable. It is the lifeblood of my business. Bringing new blood on your team, guys, is vital to keeping the morale up, keeping the energy going, keeping things moving. So the next thing I wanted to say, so these are actually, I guess these are out of order, but is the rule of threes. How many of you guys, raise your hand, have you heard the rule of threes when it comes to recruiting? If you're, okay, good, a lot of you guys. So I won't hammer this home, because if you're a veteran coach, you've heard this like 100 times, but there is a law in the universe of Beachbody called the rule of threes, where for every 3 coaches you recruit, 1 will insta-quit. Like, they will straight up never answer your welcome email. They won't necessarily return their stuff. In my experience, they just ghost you. Sometimes they'll block you. I've never had that, but I know that it's happened to a lot of people. They'll like block you on Instagram, and it's like, okay, cool. And they just don't respond to your messages, and they never do anything. The second person will be between active and inactive. So they won't really do anything, but they won't like quit completely. They'll kind of maybe hang out in your challenge group and order Shakeology every other month. And then the third person might go on to actually hit Emerald, or maybe hit Success Club for a couple months, so on and so forth. And I don't say that to discourage you guys. I just say that because no coach is exempt from this rule. Carly's not exempt from it. I'm not exempt from it. And neither is a top 10 coach. It's like the law of Beachbody. So don't just, recruit 1 or 2 people a month, and if they both quit, think something's wrong with you and you're a failure. I've had months where I've recruited 7 coaches, all who wanted to work the business, and all 7 quit that month and went nowhere. And it's just the law playing out. So some months you'll have a lot of people stick with it, and other months it's like, okay, those weren't my people. Just keep on keeping on. So that's the rule of thirds, and that's why it's so important to keep every single month adding new people, because obviously you have to replace people that are falling off. So the next tip I have for you guys, in order for Carly's system to work, is you have to be posting consistently about coaching. So I went to Carly's Instagram, in my Instagram, and I actually looked at our past 12 posts, and both of us had talked about coaching, or blatantly just straight, well, really, yeah, all of them were extremely blatant, talking about coaching 6 out of 12 posts. So 50% of our content is talking about the business. So how much of your content do you think you're actually talking about the business? Like, do you need to go look at your last 12 posts and see how many times you've mentioned it? Because I would say 50% is that's pretty good. If you could do more, do more. But if you're only mentioning coaching 1 out of every 12 posts, or only talking about it on your Instagram stories every day, every other day, or twice a week, recruiting is going to be really, really hard. But Carly and I talk about our business on our stories every single day. It's actually listed as a vital behavior for me. So on my list of vitals, I added talk about the business in my Instagram stories, because it is so, so important that if you want to attract business builders, you talk about it. So you attract what you talk about. And if all you ever talk about is fitness, then that's all you're ever going to get. So just maybe do an audit after this and really be blunt with yourself about how many times am I actually talking about coaching, and make sure if you're talking about coaching, it's not just the surface level stuff. I know I used to do this all the time and wonder why I couldn't recruit. I would just be like, on a team call, love coaching, or like, oh, I love that I get to work at a coffee shop. And it's like, those things are cool. Like, sure, you could post about that, but that's super surface level. Me talking about being on a team call ain't going to make nobody want to quit their job and be a Beachbody coach. Okay. But if I talk about how important it was for me to leave my job because I was so unhappy and I would wake up every single day with anxiety, sick to my stomach, and I share my story behind why I wanted to leave that job, that's going to make people want to join Beachbody, because you have to connect with them on an emotional level. Yes, personal versus passive posting. So when you're doing your social media audit tonight after this call, and maybe you are talking about coaching 50% of the time, make sure that you're really breadcrumbing your story in there for why you're doing coaching. Oh, and the last thing I want to share, and then I'm gonna let Carly talk, is oh, okay, good, you are recording. I almost forgot. Is a webinar. So I'm not sure what Carly's going to share. I don't think hers is a webinar. I actually am not positive. I'm excited to hear what Carly's going to share, but something I've been doing that might work for you guys is coaching sneak peeks work great for some people, and there's tons of different ways to do them. You can do a 3-day sneak peek, a 5-day one, a 1-day one, 2-day one. Guys, I've done them effing all. I've probably done 150 sneak peeks in my day, like no lie. But something recently I did was I got on a Zoom chat just like this with 2 of my top coaches, and we just recorded ourselves talking about coaching for 30 minutes, and then I'm sending that webinar to people on Instagram. And that's been working really well, and I've been recruiting coaches through that because my market now is busy moms. And even if I wasn't working with busy moms, I think this would work really well. It just seems to be, for me, working a lot better than sneak peeks were, because I'm just having them watch it on their own time. The key with this, guys, is to set an appointment, okay? So what I mean by that is, I don't know if any of you guys have read the book GoPro, but you want to make an appointment for them to watch the video. So if I message somebody and I'm like, you know, hey, have you ever thought about coaching? Are you interested in watching this webinar where I share more about what it is? And they say yes, I'm not going to send them the link to the webinar because they're probably not going to watch it. So what I'm going to say is, awesome, I have a video I can send you where I share more about what I do as a coach. When would be a good time for you to check it out so I know when to check back with you? They're going to tell me a day that they can check it out, or a general time, and then I'm going to send it to them, okay? Because I found that works a lot better, because we're professionals. And in any other professional situation, you're going to have an appointment with somebody. And this is no different. I need to make an appointment with them for when they're going to watch it. So maybe they'll message back and be like, I can watch it tomorrow night at 8 p.m. or tomorrow night in general. Awesome. I'll go ahead and send it your way. I can't wait. You know, I'll check back with you, Tuesday morning. You know, make a time that you're going to check back up with them. And that has been working really, really well, because if you set an appointment, then you know, they've told you they're going to do it, and they're way more likely to watch it and make time to watch it. And then you just follow up. So it's really simple, but that's been working really well. And just make sure when you send the webinar, you do it with people who are good on camera. You know, I picked people on my team who I feel like are very energetic. If you get on a Zoom like this and you record yourself talking about coaching, but you're like, yeah, I'm a Beachbody coach. Been doing this 3 years. Pretty cool. Like, I've literally done sneak peeks with that, like that with people. And it's like, oh my God. Like, rule 1 of a sneak peek is get on video, drink some freaking Energize, and be pumped up about your business so they can feel your energy. They're going to feed off your energy. So just make sure if you do that, do it with 2 people who take it seriously and are going to show up for the webinar with energy, so that you have a really, really good video to send people. So, okay, that's everything I got. Now Carly is going to chat with us. And we'll save all the questions for the end, if that's okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I have a little presentation, but I'm just going to start with how I kind of set up my month. But you guys, I'm actually so excited about this, mainly because when I first started hosting sneak peeks, let's just go back for a second and like stop feeling bad about ourselves, because when Cassie and I first started, there was no such thing as Instagram stories. Literally did not exist. Like, if we wanted to talk about the business, we had to type it out in an effing caption. No such thing as Instagram stories. Second thing that there never was Facebook Live. So if you wanted to post a video on Facebook, you recorded a video on your phone, then you uploaded it to YouTube, then you grabbed the link from YouTube and shared it back into a Facebook group. It was so freaking challenging and so annoying. So if you think it's like really hard to like post about coaching on your stories, or like push a button and go live on Facebook, like, please do not even talk to me. Like, I literally was thinking about that like 3 years ago, and I was like, how was I even excited about Coach Sneak Peeks last? Like, I don't even know how I got the message across, right? Like, it's so crazy. We have so many more tools now. But I'm literally going to go through what my sneak peek looks like now. I think I've been hosting these for about since like November. maybe even October, so like 5 or 6 months now, and they're working for me. I'll be really honest. The past 3 years, I've always sucked at coach sneak peeks. I always lead from fitness. I always just primarily talk about fitness. But I realize it's really important to obviously like elevate both sides, fitness and the business. But like if you suck at coach sneak peeks, like it's okay. Like I sucked at them and I still grew a very, very successful business without being amazing at them. However, these past 6 months, and I did a little research on where I pulled like my rock star coaches who have started to like elevate in my team these past couple months, I would say at least 50% of them did come from my coach sneak peek. So I think it's extremely important to host these. And again, you don't even have to call it a coach sneak peek. You can call it a coaching info group, or I call them become a coach workshops. But this is how I kind of set up my month for them. So basically what I do is I have a marketing plan. I do the first half of the month is very fitness focused. And then the second half of the month is very coaching and lifestyle focused. And then obviously the first half of my month, I have posts related to fitness groups and stuff. And then the second half of my month, I have posts related to coaching. Obviously I cross-reference and share things about each lifestyle in both. But like, that's why when I see people like start the beginning of the month and like they haven't posted a transformation, like it's May 5th. If I don't see a transformation in your last like 6 posts or your last like 5 days worth of content, like I'm going to be very concerned about your business and like how you are getting people into your fitness groups. Because the first half of the month for me, I hit the ground running hard to fill my challenge group, to get set up with my clients, to get them pumped about my challenge group, because it always starts like in the middle of the month. Like my fitness group is starting May 13th. I only have 8 days left to get people freaking in there. So I always work from a sense of urgency. Now, again, this is my way of doing it. You don't have to do any of this. You can call me stupid and go like, host your own things. That's totally fine. But this is what's working really, really well for me. So the first half of the month, I go balls to the wall fitness, balls to the wall talking about my fitness group and how amazing it is, my clients' transformations, my clients' testimonials, and my Instagram stories. You can go look back on my stories. There's some living in there right now. I do a call to action. I do before and after pictures. I tell people to click the link in my bio. Like I bring the freaking energy and the heat about fitness groups and why I love them and why they need to get their butts in my fitness group today. Okay, and you can go read my posts and you can understand that I've brought that heat this whole week. I've shared 3 different transformation photos. I've shared client testimonials, their before and afters. I've talked about my fitness groups. I talked about what day of my test group I'm on, all those different things. And then the second half of the month, I talk about more the coaching lifestyle, how it relates to my life, why I love coaching. And just being able to segment that, I think, is really important because obviously Become a Coach workshops or coach sneak peeks, they attract different people than, let's say, a fitness group, right? Because a fitness group is going to attract people who, are struggling in their fitness journey and need that accountability, right? Versus a Become a Coach workshop could attract a bomb-ass personal trainer who's, struggling with all these training sessions that she's hosting and she's not really getting anywhere with it, or a yoga teacher who's struggling with all of her classes and doesn't have a business plan, or maybe a student who's graduating college with, a nutrition degree or a kinesiology degree and they don't know how to apply it, right? That's gonna speak more to them. So I think it is very, very important to talk about both. And then it also transitions current and past clients. So I do that for a specific reason also. So I'll do a coach sneak peek at the end of the month so that the clients that have joined me in the beginning of the month or from the previous month are either halfway through their program or all the way through their program. And I get a lot of my current clients crossing over into that Become a Coach workshop because I've taught them how to fall in love with the journey of fitness. And now I'm offering them to do the coaching side of fitness. So if you're not doing those Become a Coach workshops or that transitional period, you're not giving them that avenue to be like, heck yeah, like I'm ready to like take that step, right? Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen now and go through a little bit on how to host a bomb-ass coach sneak peek. So this is what's been working for me. So first off, let's just start with a little bit about checking ourselves. My biggest pet peeve, and you guys have told me this before, is, well, I hosted a coach sneak peek and it like kind of failed. I only had 5 people in it. That is your fault. That is because you did not plan. That is because you did not invite enough people. That is because you didn't act like a business owner and set the standards high for that group, okay? What if I had just, like, my energy is off the wall right now, right, guys? What if I had shown up to this call and been like, so, coach sneak peeks, they're pretty awesome. And, I've been doing them for like 3 months. And, yeah, they're like super cool and like I'll go live and like, you know, do a fitness work. Like, are you so bored? Like, do you want to get off this call? Like, yes, right? So attention goes where energy flows, you guys. Look back on how you bring the energy and the heat to your videos, okay? I take these so serious now, and every single time I hop onto this, I'm like, let's freaking go. I am so excited to see who is gonna join my team. Literally, coaching is the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't care if you're full-time or part-time or making $5 a week or $5,000 a week. Like, the community, the fitness, the nutrition, the support, the way that this group has probably transformed your life just physically with your own nutrition and fitness, like, that should be enough for you to come into these coach sneak peeks and literally blow their socks off on the value that they get, even if they just want to become a client, or the business model that they get if they want to run with this business and radically transform their life and their like family's life, right? So energy goes, or attention goes where energy flows, and it is your responsibility to bring that energy, okay? Bring that energy, okay? Look back, ask yourself, what if your coach had never reached out to you? Or what if you had never signed up with your coach? Where would your life be right now? On a Sunday night, would you just be feeling shitty that it's Monday tomorrow and that you have to go back to work? Now you have this amazing community that you can be a part of, and you can work towards a future that you're excited about, right? A career that you're excited about. Or maybe this is just your part-time thing that adds to your full-time job that makes you way more excited to get up in the mornings and pour into something that you feel like, you know, serves the world or helps other people, right? How would your life be different? Ask yourself that. When you're hosting these groups, be like, wow, this is an opportunity for me to freaking pay this forward, okay? So don't be afraid to be loud and be bold about this opportunity and what you are offering to people, okay? So check yourself before you even start marketing a Become a Coach workshop or a coach sneak peek or whatever you call it. Check yourself and know that attention goes where the energy flows, and you are 100% responsible for that energy, okay? Only you. Another thing that I wanted to say, oh wait, no, I think I have that on the next slide. Yeah, okay, I have that on the next slide. So I'm gonna dive into a little bit of like marketing, what's been working well for me. Again, I'm gonna talk a lot about making this professional, because if somebody's going to invest in this business and invest in you becoming their coach and investing in this thing that they might not know that much about, make sure that you're representing it in a professional type manner, right? So this is something that's been really helping me. I actually made these graphics back in October or November, and I just have them in a saved album in my photos on my phone. And it's just like all these different graphics, and I'll just upload them onto my story when I launch a coach or a Become a Coach workshop. And I usually start marketing it at least a minimum of a week prior, if not 2 weeks prior, okay? So you guys aren't going to be hosting a Become a Coach workshop tomorrow because you're deciding you're going to do it today, right? Half of the whole like solution of a Become a Coach workshop is giving yourself at least 1 to 2 weeks to market it, to get people into the group, and to get excited, right? So one of the first things that I'll share is this on my Instagram stories. I'll talk a little bit about my story, and I'll share these graphics. There's actually more of them. If you actually watch my stories, they're a little bit more intricate than this. But it asks them to swipe up. You know, even if you don't have over 10,000 followers, if they swipe up, they can send an emoji to you really quickly. So why wouldn't you at least just say swipe up to join my info session, or swipe up and send me an emoji, and I'll send you the link to my group, right? So get something that looks professional like this. If you're taking that victim role where it's like, well, I don't have a team, and I don't have those cool photos, and I don't have this, and I don't have that, okay, then this should be your obligation to go make that happen, right? Go get some professional pictures, right? Go host a coach retreat. Go, you know, meet up with a couple of your clients or your coaches and take group pictures, right? This is on you guys, and you guys are responsible for making that happen, right? All right, so another thing with marketing, you want to make sure, again, like I said, you're marketing your Become a Coach workshop at least 1 to 2 weeks prior. Biggest pet peeve is when someone like posts one post about a Become a Coach workshop and then the next day hosts it. I'm like, there's literally probably 3 people in your group. Like, that's so lame. I would never, ever want to join somebody who literally doesn't take this professionally and then has 2 people in their group and then is like, join me. It's like, no. And then ask yourself what you can highlight in that week that you're marketing it prior to when it's launching, okay? So what can you highlight? You can highlight work from home or work from anywhere. You can talk about the coach community or your fitness community. You can talk about the income. Again, I don't care if you make $5 a week or $5,000 a week. Talk about how coaching has helped you income-wise. Talk about how you can use social media for good. That's something that I really elevate and people really love nowadays, because, you know, people have this negative connotation of Instagram, and it's like, you can use it for so much good, right? And here's how. And that's why I love coaching. You can talk about the trips that you've been able to go on, and then obviously highlighting your story. So breadcrumbing coaching into your Instagram posts and into your stories is so, so key marketing to Become a Coach workshop. How I do this. So again, I did this just like 2 weeks ago at the end of April. And these are all the things that I did. This is why it really, really grinds my gears when I see somebody like post once about a Become a Coach workshop, and then they don't talk about it for the rest of the week. And then they bitch that there's like 5 people in their group. It's like, okay, well, you posted once and you didn't invite anybody, right? So do a live video on Instagram. I think I did 2 the week prior before my group launched. I did one just talking about my story and how I got started with coaching. And then the other one, I got really raw and vulnerable about the fact that, like, you need to be able to change something or else nothing's going to change in your life. And it was a super tough love live video, but I think it really spoke to people, right? I think the quote that I kind of started the video off with is, if nothing changes, nothing is going to change. So I called people out, right? And they had been following me. They had been watching me talk about my Coach Sneak Peek. They had been watching me talk about this Become a Coach workshop that I was talking about. And when I go live and I just call them out on that, like, guys, if nothing changes, nothing's going to change. Like, if you're unhappy about the way that you feel right now on Monday or Sunday night, and you're not even willing to join this workshop that literally is no strings attached, and I literally just want to share with you about what I'm doing and how it's radically transformed my life, like, nothing's going to change in your life. So I called them out on their own bullshit, right? So I did 2 different live videos on Instagram. I posted multiple times about the coaching opportunity, how it's affected my life, how it's affected Kevin's life, why I love it, and all the different reasons. I think I sent between 100 to 200 follow-ups for all the people who had ever requested to join my Become a Coach workshops previously throughout the 3 years. Obviously, if you're a new coach, you're not going to have that big of an email kind of place to pull from, but it's really important to do follow-ups. I think it was super simple. It was like, hey girl, I know you've been a part of one of my coach workshops before. I'm actually hosting another one next Tuesday. Would love for you to join. Here's the link to join in and learn more about my story. And I think, I had a handful of people join from those email follow-ups. Obviously, direct invites are key. That's like the bread and butter of our business. If you're not inviting anybody, obviously it can be super casual, no strings attached. You can come learn more about what I do. And then tell them why you think that they would be an amazing coach, right? And then, like I said and shared about, stories made specifically for the group is super key as well. Okay, then you have to decide a couple things. So first off, decide how many people that you want in it. Again, well, I only had 5 people in my group. Well, how many people did you decide that you wanted in your group? Because for me, I wanted at least 50 people in my group. And I think it was like 3 or 4 days before, and I had maybe like 30 some people in it. And that's why I did another Instagram live calling people out on their bullshit. I think I upped my follow-ups, maybe followed up with another 100 people. I set this standard of I wanted 50 people in it. So I didn't stop inviting and posting and marketing about it until I got 50 people in it. It's like a store that has like a $10,000 goal for sales that day, right? My brother works at REI. They have goals for how much they want to sell each day. And they don't stop halfway through the day because they're like, well, looks like we're not going to reach our goal. Like, no, they post incentives. They encourage the staff to, double up on their, invites or how they welcome people into the store. Like, this is a business just like any other business. So you need to take it seriously. And if you set a goal for something, make sure you get to that goal, right? And don't stop until you get there. Also deciding on what days you're going to be starting. So my Coach Sneak Peeks are 3 days long, and you need to decide when they're going to be starting and when they're going to be stopping. It can't just be like, I'm going to go live sometime next week. Hope to see you there, right? So you need to have that start and end date. So also you can reverse engineer and decide, when you're going to need to start marketing for the group as well, right? Another question you have to ask yourself, are you hosting it alone or are you hosting it with another coach? Who are you hosting it with, and why are you hosting it with them? Me personally, and again, you can totally call me dumb and do it your own way, but for me, I love hosting groups by myself. These are my prospects. These are my potential coaches. These are my girls that I want to work with, and I want to speak to them candidly, right? I think a lot of the times when we have 4, 5, 6 people hosting it at one time, you have all these live videos coming over from all these random coaches. And the initial girl that invited you to the group, she's probably like, wait, where's the girl that invited me here? Like, I see all these random people. I don't really care about them. I don't know their stories. I want to hear from the person that I've been following. So for me, hosting it alone is my preference. If you are going to host it with somebody, I forgot my charger is 8%, it's freaking me out. If you are hosting it with somebody, ask yourself where they're at in their business or what goals they have for their business. Guys, this is your one chance with your prospects, okay? If you're gonna co-host this group with like a half-assed coach who isn't really into it and doesn't really care, and they show up on a live video like looking like shit, just getting done with their workout, poorly presenting themselves, that's on you, right? And now your prospects' first like go or impression of coaching and Beachbody is probably going to be somewhat negative and unprofessional because they didn't take themselves seriously. So make sure whoever you're asking to do this with has the same standards and the same goals as you do. If you guys are both part-time coaches and like less serious about this and you feel like you'll work great together, then do that, right? But if you're taking this super seriously, you better be working with another coach that's going to take this super seriously, that's going to show up, that's going to bring the energy, that's going to bring the heat, and not just lean on you to do everything, right? And then again, the layout of the group. I know Cassie was talking about how she does like the webinar thing or whatever. You can do, one night, an hour long. You can do 3 days, one video a day. That's what I do. But again, deciding what your layout of the group is going to look like long before you ever launch the group. Okay, so this is the outline of my group. These slides will go quick. I'm just going to share with you guys what it looks like. So this is what I will share inside the group before anybody gets in. So you need this intro and pick posted before anybody gets in there. The lamest thing could be for somebody to get into a group and you haven't done anything with the group, right? There needs to be an intro. There needs to be a professional picture of you, right? Because we're taking this seriously and professionally, right? Remember what you're offering and how serious this could actually change somebody's life, right? So making sure you're sharing that outline of that intro. And then you can kind of just read over this, obviously, or maybe rewatch this call and pause on this one. But I ask them these specific questions, like where are you from and what do you currently do for work? Why are they interested in becoming a coach, okay? Or what interests them most about coaching? What does their fitness routine look like, right? Because if they initially join a group, obviously their first job is join a fitness group and get results. And then I love asking this question, what would your dream job be? Because a lot of them say what coaching would provide. I can work from anywhere. I can help people. I can be a positive impact in this world. I can, obviously the more I work or the, more successful I am, the more I get paid, right? There's no cap on my income. A lot of the things that people will end up saying in their intro describes to a T what our role as coaches is, which is crazy to me, but it's just so cool to read through that. So I'll have this live inside the group before anybody even gets into the group. Another thing that has been really helpful is setting a standard. So I posted this the day before the group officially started, and I had been adding people in all week or the week and a half prior. And, a week or a week and a half into the group, there were only 9 intros and there were 33 people in the group, okay? And this is what I said. I called them out on their bullshit. Again, setting that standard of you're taking this seriously. Like, this is your business and you're not gonna deal with people like half-assing this, or like people need to understand that you take this seriously. So this is what I said. There's 9 intros and 33 of you in the group. We start tomorrow. One of the main things about coaching is your willingness to show up. So please share a little bit about yourself so I can get to know you. Also, today I put together my income progression with coaching, and holy shit, so excited to share it with you all. See you tomorrow. I had so many people start introducing themselves after I set this standard. If you don't set this standard, people aren't going to show up, right? They're not going to take you seriously, and they're not going to take this opportunity seriously. So set the standard. Okay, I need to take a drink of water. 1 second. Okay, so the first day of the group, this is something that's been really helpful for me, is making sure that I get their emails. And I preach this to you guys all the time. Emails are not dead. What if Instagram went away? I have thousands of people's emails. My business could go on for years without Instagram ever again. Do you guys have people's emails? Do you have a customer management system where you have emails of people, or are you just randomly writing down Instagram handles and hoping Instagram never disappears? Okay, make sure that you're getting their emails, because that's what a business does, right? Target doesn't search you down on your Instagram handle. Target sends you emails, right? Anthropology, they send you emails. They don't track you down on your Instagram handle, okay? And it's also a really nice thing that you can do so you can follow up later. Obviously not everyone in the sneak peek is going to join immediately, but it's an awesome way for you to then go back to them and follow up with them for your next Become a Coach workshop. So this is what I say on Monday, and usually I host my groups Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll have enrollment open for 48 hours or 3 days or whatever. So I'll tell them when I'm hopping on live so they can write it down if they want to hop on live. And then I also just ask them, in the meantime, can you ladies please comment your email below so I can send you an info email? And then this is the email that I send them after they comment their email below. Hey babe, alrighty, here's a little info email I promised. I think this video really helps you get a better understanding of what we do as coaches and how we make money. Make sure to turn into the video I shared today, and I'll see you in the group tomorrow. Super stoked to welcome you to the team. I'm talking to them like they're already gonna join, right? Because I have energy in that group, I have energy for them, I put trust and belief in them, like that's all there from day one. This video actually is a video that another coach in the network made. It's pinned at the top of the Teamwork to Rise page, and I think Cassie has it pinned at the top of her page as well. But it just goes into what we do as coaches, our job as coaches, how we get paid as coaches. It goes into like compensation a little bit deeper, so I don't have to bore them with all of that in my videos. And again, they're getting this as an email so they can look back on it later. So I can dive in. If somebody has a specific question, I can definitely share this video with you guys. But I think, again, it's just another thing for people to look at that gives them more info without me having to dive super deep into like every single thing about what we do as coaches. And then these are the 3 videos that I share. And guys, this might sound like a lot, but literally it's a 3-day group. I share 3 videos and I reutilize these posts. I copy and paste these posts from the previous groups. So now I've hosted this group like 7 times and I just copy and paste these exact same things. Literally, I go live at the exact same time. I do the same email. I do this every single time and it works every single time. So it's not like I'm reinventing the wheel at all. I've just found something that works and I'm sticking to it. So this is the outline of the videos I share. 1 video a day. It's a 3-day group. So day 1, I talk about I welcome them. I talk about my story and how I got started. It's super fitness focused, obviously, and just like my experience with coaching and Beachbody, whatever. And then I also tell them how this group is going to go and what they can kind of expect. So it just kind of creates some excitement. It connects them to my story as a whole because, you know, depending on how long they've been following me on Instagram, they might not know my whole story, and it's just welcoming them to the group. I do talk at the end of this day 1 video, again, about emphasizing their mindset that they have on this group and talking into their limiting beliefs. Again, I call them on their bullshit before they can even talk themselves out of not becoming a coach, right? Okay, so what I'll kind of say, an example would be, you know, at the end of this day 1 video, I'm gonna be like, you know, at the end of this video, basically what I say is I really wanna challenge you guys to check how you're talking to yourself as you're watching me talk to you. I know I'm a stranger on Instagram. I know I'm this random girl that you follow, and you probably might not even think that the things that I do are real, but I want you guys to check your mindset and check how you tune into this group for the next 3 days that I'm sharing my story. Because the first and foremost reason I believe that I could be successful with this business is I actually gave it a shot and I believed in this business. So before you write this off, which I know that probably a lot of you guys already have all of these excuses coming in, before you say that you can't do this and I'm just lucky, I want you guys to check yourself. So I call them out on their limiting beliefs. I call them out on the fact that like the first step in becoming successful is believing that you can already do it. And I need you guys to believe that. I talk about this opportunity like it can change their life the way that it changed my life, right? And even back when I was doing those live Instagram stories, like I almost cried on one of those live Instagram stories where I was talking about my Become a Coach workshop, because I sit in this house every day and I'm like, holy shit. Like I see Kev out in the yard, like being able to work on projects and us being able to like never have to request a day off and never be financially stressed and literally do whatever we want and get chickens and dogs and live in this town that we'd never even be able to live in if it wasn't for coaching. I connect myself back to these things that have changed my life in so many freaking ways that it's like, how could I not come into this group and be so freaking excited for what I get to offer, right? And again, connect to whatever makes coaching exciting for you. Connect to however, you know, whatever your goals are with coaching. But I really talk into their mindset and their limiting beliefs because we all have them, and I'm sure you guys had them before you started too. So that's day 1, just welcome my story and how this group is going to go. Day 2, I talk about what we do as coaches, but obviously I don't have to go too in depth because they had already read or watched a little bit of the video that I shared in that email that I sent them. And then I go into common objections. So, you know, oh, I don't have a big social media following, or oh, I don't have time, or I'm not perfectly fit, or, you know, all these different things. So again, at this point, they've received the video, so they know more in depth on how we get paid and what we really do as coaches. And I really focus on like results first and foremost, and talk to them about the fact that if they do decide to become a coach, like their first step is to get into a group and get results, right? Also on day 2, I showcase some client transformations, like just recent, testimonials of clients and stuff to get them excited, and obviously getting them to visualize themselves and getting themselves, like putting themselves in the shoes of my past clients. But yeah, I just kind of go into I keep it super simple on day 2. I literally do that thing where it's like, we do 3 things as coaches. We help ourselves, we help other people, and we teach other people to help other people. I dumb it down because they're not going to give a shit about the compensation plan, you guys. They're not going to give a shit of what your new coach mentorship looks like. They just want to know that there's a new coach mentorship for them, right? Again, these videos are about 15 to 20 minutes long. This isn't 5 minutes, ready, set, go, okay, see you tomorrow. They are longer videos, but I dive into those things. And then day 3 is my income progression and how they can start. I talk to them what it would look like for them to sign up. I talk to them, I'm pretty tough love about the fact that, it all starts with them, and that, their first step in becoming a coach would be to get into a fitness group and get results, but they can start simultaneously on my new coach mentorship. I talk to them about the fact that this business is a marathon, not a sprint. So I talk to them about my team goals. I talk to them about the fact that we want to be a top 10, 15-star, superstar diamond team. So I'm not looking for people who want handouts. I talk to them about the fact that, you will be expected to, work just like any other new job. But again, they get to decide how much time they want to put into it, whether they want to, dedicate 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 60 minutes, however long they want. But I talk to them about what our team is already doing. If you're a diamond team or you're pushing to become a diamond team, talk about that. I'm pushing for this goal of diamond, and, I want my team to be ranked in the top 50 or the top 20 this year. So I am looking for people who are serious and want to run. And that inspires people, right? People are going to want to join a team and a coach who's pushing for these goals, right? And they don't need to know where you're at necessarily on that spectrum, right? We have a long ways to go if we want to be top 10. We have a long ways to go if we want to be a superstar diamond team, but those are the goals that I hold for my team. That's what I want my team to look like. So it's really important to speak that out to them, speak that belief into them. And I think it's exciting for them to know that they're going to have a part of that if they decide to jump in, right? I do share my income progression, and I talk about how much I made my 3rd month in coaching. I talk about how much I made 6 months into coaching. I talk about how much I made 8 months into coaching. And then I talk about how much I made, 3 years into coaching or 2 years into coaching. And, wherever you're at on that spectrum, be excited about what your income progression looks like, right? When I share those big numbers of year 2 or year 3, I think that scares off a lot of people because they just write it off and they're like, oh, well, that's not even possible. That's not even true. But talk to them about the segments of your 3rd month in, your 4th month in, your 6th month in, right? If you're hitting Success Club, you're making over $100. That's a lot to somebody who you're literally offering them to change their fitness routine, or to change, revolutionize their fitness routine and then also make money at the same time. Are you kidding? And then at the end of this, I just create urgency, and I talk about the fact that enrollment will be open for the next 48 hours. So this is what I do on the last day. I got this from Leanna, so thanks, Leanna. And I just copy and paste this and this graphic. Leanna literally made that graphic. But I just say, after I close it on that last 3rd day video, enrollment is open. I'm keeping it open for 48 hours. Here's how to get signed up. Reach out to me via email with the subject line, I'm ready to rock it. Tell me your intentions with signing up, aka why are you ready to do this? What excites you about starting? What's a health goal you have for the next month of committing to your program? And then just the 3rd thing, I will respond ASAP and get you a link to officially enroll. And then just a little bit of things down here, I'll be seeing you in the team page or whatever. Even if no one emails you, you guys, this is still you setting that standard of urgency, right? It's still you keeping this group professional. The last thing you want to do is just let the last video end, and then people are like, okay, now what, right? You need a call to action. You need to tell them where to go. And I think that's super important to showcase. And even if everybody doesn't, respond to this, I follow up, right? So I think from the last group, I had 5 new coaches sign up, which is huge. I was stoked about that. My goal was 10. I, had 5 new. I'm really excited about, their journeys and helping them. And then I followed up with everyone else, right? I actually just followed up with them about a week ago, I would say. So I think a week or maybe 4 or 5 days after the group ended. And I just said this, just wanted to pop in and say, thank you for becoming a part of my coach workshop. I know it's scary putting yourself out there and trying something new. I talked to them about how 3 years ago, I was in their exact same shoes. And then I was talking about, this is last weekend, Kev's mom being here and me having my bridal shower or whatever. And just saying how thankful I am of what coaching has done for me. I wanted to reach out and answer any questions you had or hesitations that you might have come up. And then just talking to them about this if they're ready to join. And if not, no worries. I just want to make sure they circle back and thank you for being a part of my group, right? Knowing that I'm always here for you when you're ready to make your goals happen. So it puts it back on them. I'm here for you, girl, and I'll always be here for you until you're ready to make your goals happen, right? So again, it's that last closing thing. And I actually got like another 4 or 5 coaches reach back out and say they're ready to sign up, right? So sometimes they just need that extra push. The fortune is in the follow-up. We all know that. Okay, so that's it. That's what my Become a Coach workshop looks like. I've been hosting that for like 6 to 7 months. It works really well. I just want to put this in here because this is something I'm going to be doing this week for my April group, because this is my 3rd week of my new clients from April. And this is what I'll probably be hosting on Wednesday or Thursday. And this is something that worked well for me. So this was working well for me until it stopped working well for me, and then I switched to what I'm doing now. But a sneak peek inside your fitness group is super, super fun. I post this little graphic, usually 2 weeks into their fitness journey, inside my fitness group, and I talk about the coaches that I've been hosting it with and how we're all gonna pop in live one night and talk about our experiences as a challenger and then transitioning to a coach and why it's so fun. So this is something that's a lot more casual that you could do like this week. And just talking about coaching and how they can transition from a client to a coach. So this is the thing that I share. Again, I wrote this maybe a year and a half ago, and I copy and paste it and I create a new graphic in every group that I host. So I'll just read a little bit of it for you. But by now you've probably received some comments from people, friends and family might be asking what you're doing or why you're so focused in on your nutrition and workouts. Am I right? You guys all already are doing what we do as coaches every day. Being able to pay this community forward and share this with others, the support, motivation, and encouragement this community has given you is the most fulfilling part. Becoming a member of a team of women who are committed to the same values is empowering and inspiring. I'm so thankful for these girls who are new coaches as of last month who have helped me run this group and brought so much love and support into this space. It's so much more fun than me doing it alone. Want to learn more about what we do as coaches and how you can do it too? Join us this Wednesday or wherever at 7 p.m. We're just going to share a little bit more about our stories. And then obviously I'm going to follow up with these coaches, with my clients in my fitness group. I'll follow up with them, the day of or, the day before or something, saying, make sure you tune into these live videos because I open and then close my fitness groups on Facebook every single month. So I'm going back to this month. I haven't posted this in a while, but this is just another option. And again, I can give you guys this actual text in or after the team call or something if you guys want. So that was kind of a lot of information, and it's 6:23. Thanks for sticking it out with me, guys. But hopefully this was helpful, and we can open it up to questions. I'm literally sweating right now. Like my yellow shirt is like mustard. Good. I'm so glad it was helpful.
Leanna had a question about the follow-up email. How long did you say you waited to send the follow-up email?
I think I sent it like maybe 4 or 5 days after, because like the last Coach Sneak Peek I hosted, it was Monday through Wednesday, and then I opened up enrollment Wednesday night, and then I think I might have sent that follow-up like that Sunday, because maybe like the weekend got a little ahead of them, or like, maybe they got, distracted or whatever. So yeah.
I don't know, but I need you to do a call, I think, on Google Streak. I just think you need to do. But I do have a question. So for your emails, you followed up with like what, 100, 200 people?
Yeah.
So for all those people that you followed up with, was that all on Google Streak?
Yes, I have.
You're just a badass, and you've been tracking emails for like how long? How many years?
Oh, I did Google Streak like 2 months into coaching. I have so many.
You guys, don't make Cassie's mistake. I use Google Streak, but I did not start it until like, I don't know, really, really using it until 6 months ago, and I'm kicking myself. Like, I really wish, guys, if you're a new coach, use Google Streak, please, for love of God. I think Carly just needs to do a team call on it, because I'm like, my follow-ups, if I were to follow up with 100 people in my sneak peeks because I didn't grab emails, that literally takes me hours and hours of my time, and I do it, but I wish I didn't have to. I wish I could just Google Streak. And now that I know that she's just asking for their email in the sneak peek, that's effing genius. Like, that's really smart.
Yeah, and Google Streak, there's tons of YouTube tutorials of it. I just taught myself because Jamie never used it. It's not like I did what Jamie did. I just needed to find a way to organize myself, and so I just figured it out. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I can share the emails. I can put it into like a document maybe tomorrow. So I'm trying to get to SC10 tonight, but I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay, so Jordan said, what did you emphasize most in your sneak peeks before you were a full-time coach?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I mean, like I kind of said here, figure out what you're going to emphasize, right? Like, what are you going to highlight? Like, you can't highlight buying a house if you never bought a house from Beachbody Income. I can do that, right? But like, if you can't do that, then don't do that. Working from anywhere, the coach community and how it's supportive, your income and how it has helped you. I know, Jordan, you've been like a boss at talking about how you went on a sushi date and you got your hair cut and like, you didn't have to worry about it. Like, little things like that are even inspiring for people, right? For somebody who is, $50,000 in debt or something, even to be able to subsidize their debt or loan payments for coaching instead of, their full-time job, like, find something that you can talk about. But honestly, like, I don't talk in my coach sneak peek, I don't talk about income. I don't talk about like full-time coach life that much, because I keep it simple for them. Like, we get our own results, and then we help other people get results, and then we teach other people how to help people. And you can do that in 30 to 60 minutes a day, right? So keeping it very like simple for them, I think. Does that help?
Yeah, when I was working full-time, depending on who is in your sneak peek, but if you're a coach who's planning on being full-time, you have to tell people where you're going. Just like Carly said, she said, we're going to be a 15-star diamond team. I would straight up be like, I'm going to be a full-time coach. Like, that is what I'm going to do. And I didn't care if they believed me or not. I decided that's what I was going to do. And I told them. Now, if it's somebody you work with, like, might not want to do that, but I didn't have people from my work in my sneak peek, so it really didn't matter what I said.
Leanna asked you, Cassie, can you talk about the webinar? Like, what do you say in it? Same stuff as what Carly talks about in her whole workshop. How long was the webinar and how many coaches helped you do it?
Yeah, I can actually share with you, but that would probably be a waste of 30 minutes of your life. So it's literally just me and 3 other coaches, and we take turns, like, or 2 other coaches, so 3 total. I wouldn't do it with more than 3 people because, again, like Carly said, they didn't want to hear from, ton of people. They wanted to hear from you. I do run my sneak peeks with other people. That's just what has worked for me, because I've recruited coaches who are like, honestly, I really joined because of Samantha's story, or I really joined because I really understood Katie, who's a lawyer. Like, some people just need that other perspective, but really what it is we took turns sharing our story, each for like 4 minutes. Then we each covered a common objection about coaching, which those are time, money, needing to be super fit, needing a huge social media following, needing to be salesy. I think those are the main ones that we cover. So we each took turns like picking one of those to cover, so that right out of the gate we covered all their objections, so they couldn't come at us with any of those. And then the last thing we covered was the income opportunity, and we kept that very simple. I didn't go in the compensation plan and talk about, uplines and downlines. I just told them the possibility of what you can do with the income. And then we talked about how to get started. So that's it. It was really simple. And we just made it 30 minutes because I feel like if they don't have time to watch a 30-minute video, they're probably not that interested. But I know if they're a busy mom, they're not going to have time for more than 30 minutes because their kid's going to like shit their pants. So that's just the way it goes. So I hope that helps.
And I've done something similar to that. And for me, that didn't work. So like, you guys have to like fail forward and try something. And then if it doesn't work, like, try something else. Like, I've done the PDF, I've done the Zoom webinar, I've done it all. But this just right now is what's working for me. Okay, your fitness group is the same time every single month. Do the same with your workshops also last Monday of the month. Yeah, so again, you guys all know I'm obsessed with Amy Silverman. I literally did what she did in her business last month. And I recruited like so many freaking coaches, hit super high Success Club numbers, and I just did what she did. She's the number 3 coach in the network. I just like shut up and did what she did, and I stalk her Instagram. I stalk her posts, and that's what she does. She has a marketing plan for the first half of the month. It's very fitness focused, and the second half of the month, it's very coaching focused, so that you're not cross-referencing and like, oh, you want to join my fitness group? Oh, you need to become a coach workshop. Oh, you want to go over here? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm confused about myself. Like, let's focus and go all in. So that's why when people like start the month and they're like kind of nonchalant about their fitness group, I'm like, let's freaking go. Like, bring the heat. Like, this is exciting. You should be excited about this. Yeah, Amy Silverman. You can look her up on Instagram. But yeah, I do the same. It'll be the same weeks. Like, I could look in May. So, okay, let's go to May. 13th is when my fitness group starts, so I'll probably do a coach sneak peek the 27th, 28th, and 29th. They're going to enroll the 30th, the 31st, and then, oh my gosh, the 1st of June, I'll probably hit Success Club on June 1st. Any other questions? This call went so long. Thanks for holding out with us, guys. I'm going to stop the recording.